Let's talk about Faustus, play by Christopher Marlowe, who is a contemporary of Shakespeare. They were born the same year, but Marlowe died at the age of 29 in 1593. He is one of the great what-if stories in Western literature. We can only wonder how much his talent might have developed had he lived. Just to give you a little background about Marlowe and the Elizabethan period, we know that Queen Elizabeth I ruled England through an elaborate network of spies. She knew everything that was going on in all of England. Nothing was hidden from her because she had spies everywhere. It has been suggested that Marlowe might have been one of those spies. In any case, legend has it that he was killed in a bar fight in a dispute over the bill. I have to wonder if perhaps he was on the burn list for the spies and he had to be taken out. In any case, we're probably never going to know. You have not read Aristotle for this class, but I would like for us to think about Aristotle in connection and the other great books that Faustus is reading when the play begins. In the first scene, Faustus is in his study and he is throwing away books. But these are not just any books. He throws away Aristotle's philosophy. Aristotle was seen by the medievals and by many in the Elizabethan period as the absolute foundation of philosophy. For Faustus to pick up a volume of Aristotle and carelessly throw it across the stage would have made a huge statement to this audience. The next book he picks up is Galen's medical text. It is definitely true that Galen was not a modern physician. However, Galen's medicine was practiced for centuries after Marlowe and Shakespeare died. Again, when he throws away Galen's medical text, it would have been significant to the audience. Then he throws away Justinian. Justinian is considered the father of Roman law and, by extension, of our law. Again, this is significant. Finally, he throws away St. Jerome's Bible, St. Jerome's translation of the Holy Scriptures. This would have sent a shudder through the Elizabethan audience. They would have felt like this was blasphemy for sure. After throwing away the books, then he holds up a book of black magic. And again, the audience would have shuddered. It's important to remember that the Elizabethan audience, almost all will believe in magic and the supernatural. And so the visual image of Faustus holding up this book of black magic would have been horrifying to this audience. So let's go back and talk about Aristotle briefly. Aristotle lived 2,500 years ago. He wrote a volume called the Nicomachean Ethics that was actually a behavior manual for his son Nicomachus. One of the books within this study is called The Aim of Life, in which Aristotle claims that the true aim, the telos or end of a human life, is happiness. He claims that everything we do is intended to end in happiness. He believes that every action, every choice, every decision we make has an ultimate end, or telos. If you think about a telescope, it allows you to see to the end of the field of vision. So the telos of an action is its end. So Aristotle wants people to consider the choices they're making and the path that it's putting them on. So let's think about Aristotle in the context of Faustus' choices. When Faustus calls up Mephistopheles, he seems to surprise himself that he's actually done it. And then he asks Mephistopheles how he managed to get out of hell. And Mephistopheles utters one of the most significant lines in Western literature, I believe, because he locates hell as a condition rather than a physical place. Other people may have hinted at this, have danced around this idea, but here Marlowe has a character actually say, "Why, this is hell, nor am I out of it." So I think we should consider, what does this mean? Should this cause Faustus to reconsider what he's doing? Why or why not? You should think about that. In the Nicomachean Ethics, in the chapter, the book called The Aim of Life, Aristotle says that there are three things that people think will make them happy: money, pleasure, and fame. And then he systematically explains why none of these will actually make us happy. Aristotle explains that pleasure is fleeting. When it's gone, it's gone, and the temporary happiness goes with it. Here's a picture of Helen of Troy. In the movie version of Faustus, she played Helen to Richard Burton's Faustus, and I can assure you that Helen did not make Paris, the Prince of Troy, happy either. Money is intrinsically worthless. It is only worth what it will buy. Imagine for a minute that you were dropped on an island where the medium of exchange is coconuts. It wouldn't matter how much gold you had in your pocket, you couldn't buy anything to eat. In the end of the play, Faustus still went to hell, and he didn't take any money with him. The problem with fame is it depends on other people. Public opinion is not stable. Think about how many people in our world are famous just because they're bad. Some people seem to be famous just because they're famous. You might follow this link and listen to Eric Clapton sing "Nobody Knows You When You're Down and Out." Bessie Smith wrote this song long before Eric Clapton was born, but it says everything about fame. So think about Aristotle's criteria in connection with Marlowe's play. Does pleasure make Faustus happy? Does money make Faustus happy? Does fame make Faustus happy? Does any of it save him in the end?